A group of billionaire investors tried to steal my tech company while I was sitting in the boardroom. They thought they were playing chess. So I knocked over the board and wiped out 40% of their entire fund. If you've ever worked with venture capitalists, they don't see human beings. They see percentages. For 3 years, I poured my life, my savings, and 80 hours a week into developing a proprietary predictive market algorithm. It was flawless. It could anticipate microtrends before Wall Street even rubbed the sleep out of their eyes. Naturally, the sharks smelled blood. A high-profile investment firm called Vanguard Crest Capital came in, offering a massive Series A funding round. The lead partner, a smug billionaire named Marcus Sterling, smiled, shook my hand, and promised to take us global. But tucked away deep inside a 90-page contract, they had hidden a predatory liquidation preference clause. They were planning a hostile takeover to boot me out of my own company and sell my life's work to a competitor. They thought a small-time developer wouldn't notice. They thought I was defenseless. They completely forgot who built the system they were trying to steal. The betrayal went live on a Tuesday morning. I walked into the Vanguard Crest penthouse boardroom for what I thought was a routine quarterly review. Instead, I found Marcus Sterling sitting at the head of the table, flanked by an army of 6 corporate attorneys. My co-founder, who had apparently been bought off weeks prior, refused to look me in the eye. Marcus slid a leather-bound folder across the glass table. Olivia, look at the papers. As of 9 a.m. today, Vanguard Crest has triggered the acceleration clause under Section 12. By pooling our preferred shares with your co-founder's equity, we now control 51% of the voting power. Effective immediately, you are being removed from your position as Chief Executive Officer. I sat back, the air leaving my lungs. You're pushing me out of my own company. I built every single line of this infrastructure. And we own the paper it's printed on. Marcus replied, his voice dripping with condescension. You're a brilliant coder, dear, but you don't have the stomach for the big leagues. We're restructuring. The algorithm is being licensed exclusively to our primary hedge fund portfolio, and your remaining shares are being diluted to pennies. Don't take it personally, it's just capitalism. I looked around the room. The lawyers looked smug. My co-founder looked at the floor. Marcus was already looking at his phone, completely dismissing me. They truly believed they had executed a perfect, bloodless corporate execution. They didn't realize they had just walked into my digital kill box. What Marcus and his high-priced attorneys didn't understand about software engineering is a concept called architectural dependency. When I built the predictive market algorithm, I didn't just write code. I built a living, breathing neural network that relied entirely on a constantly updating core encryption key. And that key didn't live on the company's servers. It lived on a private, decentralized blockchain ledger that I controlled personally. I stood up from the boardroom table, packed my laptop into my bag, and looked Marcus dead in the eye. You have 51% of the voting shares, Marcus, but you don't own the engine. Marcus laughed, a dry, arrogant sound. We own the servers, Olivia. Our tech team is already changing the access protocols. You're locked out. We'll see, I said softly, and walked out of the room. I went straight to a coffee shop across the street, opened my laptop, and connected to my private server. Vanguard Crest had spent months connecting my algorithm to their primary trading fund, allowing my software to automate millions of dollars in high-frequency trades every single hour. They trusted my code implicitly. They trusted it so much that they had given it direct API access to 40% of their entire capital fund. I pulled up the terminal window. I typed out the command to withdraw the core encryption key. By removing the key, the algorithm wouldn't just stop working. It would revert to its baseline diagnostic state. And its baseline diagnostic state was programmed to see any external, unverified corporate data as a massive cyber attack. I took a deep breath, hovered my finger over the enter key, and hit execute. The meltdown took exactly 7 minutes to begin. Without the core encryption key, the automated trading system went completely colorblind. It began misinterpreting Vanguard Crest's massive, open short positions as immediate liabilities. To protect the fund from what it perceived as a hostile cyber threat, the algorithm initiated an automated, hard-coded emergency liquidation protocol. It began selling off Vanguard Crest's premium assets at absolute rock-bottom market rates to clear the perceived risk. My phone started vibrating so hard it practically danced across the coffee shop table. It was Marcus. I let it ring. Then the co-founder called. I let it ring. By the 5th consecutive call, I answered and put it on speaker. Marcus was screaming so loudly the audio was clipping. Olivia, what did you do? The system is dumping our entire tech portfolio. We've lost $200 million in the last 4 minutes. Turn it off. Turn it off right now. I can't turn it off, Marcus, I said, taking a calm sip of my coffee. You locked me out of the servers, remember? I'm no longer the CEO. I don't have the authority to manage company assets. Olivia, listen to me, he begged, his voice cracking with pure panic. We will reinstate you. We'll tear up the restructuring papers. Just stop the liquidation loop. The loop can only be stopped by uploading the master key, I replied coldly. And unfortunately, that key belongs to my private corporation. If you want to license it, the price just went up. It will cost you exactly 51% of your fund's total voting rights, plus a full return of my company's intellectual property. That's extortion, Marcus shrieked. No, I said, it's just capitalism. By the time Vanguard Crest's IT department managed to physically pull the plugs on their primary server racks, the damage was catastrophic. The automated liquidation had wiped out roughly 40% of their entire flagship fund's value. Major institutional investors panicked, pulling their capital out of Vanguard Crest before the market close, triggering a massive regulatory audit into the firm's risk management protocols. Vanguard Crest Capital didn't just lose money. Their reputation was utterly nuked. As for my company, the hostile takeover collapsed within 48 hours. The board of directors, terrified of total bankruptcy, voted unanimously to oust Marcus Sterling and return 100% of my operational control. My co-founder was forced to resign in disgrace, his remaining shares bought back by the company for pennies on the dollar under a bad leaver clause. It has been a few weeks since that boardroom ambush. I am currently sitting on a beautiful private balcony overlooking a crystal clear ocean, running diagnostics on my newly independent software platform. Marcus Sterling's name has been stripped from the fund, and he is currently facing multiple lawsuits from his own investors for gross negligence. His inner circle of billionaire friends has been absolutely blasting my corporate inbox, calling me a dangerous, malicious saboteur. They argue that protecting a company through market destruction is financial terrorism, and that I should have handled the dispute through a lengthy, polite legal battle like a mature professional. But as I close my laptop and watch the waves roll in, I just smile. They wanted to see if I had the stomach for the big leagues. It turns out I do. They just didn't have the stomach to survive my code. What would you have done if investors tried to steal your life's work? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.